What's up everyone, Kaiju no Kami here, and my favorite series that is currently airing on TV returns Monday with its new season, Better Call Saul. As such, I thought I would share with you my favorite scenes for the first 3 seasons that have occurred so far. I'm going to actually do this video a little bit different than I have done other videos in the past. Think of it as kind of like the way Watch Mojo does things, where as soon as I get started with the numbers, I'm just going to keep going without any live bits. It's just going to be bam, 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 bam. Mostly so I can get this video out in time before the season premiere to give everyone to have enough time to enjoy it. And if you've never seen Better Call Saul before, even though these moments will have some slight spoilers in them, this show is definitely a must-watch. Breaking Bad was incredible. Better Call Saul is just as good. I won't say that Better Call Saul is better than Breaking Bad, but they both are pretty solid shows all around, and Breaking Bad was just phenomenal. I'm sure Better Call Saul is going to be just as good in the long run, but here's what we've got so far. So check out my favorite moments from Better Call Saul. Chuck's day in court. The cliffhanger from Season 2's finale becomes the plot for the first half of Season 3, dealing with Jimmy and his brother Chuck. This leads to a series of events that ends up with Jimmy having a hearing in front of the New Mexico Bar Association to decide if his law license will be revoked or not. His oh-so-dearing brother, who suffers from electronic sensitivity syndrome, attends the hearing to speak out against his brother. However, what we get is a truly top-notch scene of how Chuck's disease may be nothing more than an old man's delusion.
You think this is something? You think this is bad? This chicanery? He's done worse. That's billboard. Are you telling me that a man just happens to fall like that? No, he orchestrated it.
Not to mention, Breaking Bad fans also got the chance to see the return of another character, Huel.
Excuse me. Sorry, sirs.
Jimmy reduces Tucos' sentence. Another character of Breaking Bad was the out-of-control psychopath Tuco Salamanca.
Punishment fit the crime.
Colombian neckties. I cut their throats and then I pull their live tongues through the slits. Snatch!
Vince Gilligan and gang wasted no time bringing this character back in the series premiere, but it is the second episode that has us watching Jimmy in an intense sequence of having to get Tuco to change his mind about killing a couple of scam artists while they are all in the desert. This sequence really helps set the mood for what the show's tone was going to be overall.
I'm gonna break their arms. I'm gonna break their legs.
Arms? When did we get onto arms?
I'm cutting their legs off.
We could go that way, but
Marco and Jimmy's scam montage. After learning the truth from his brother Chuck, Jimmy returns to his birthplace to hang out with his friend Marco. They start to pull off their old scams from when they were younger. Here, we get a magnificent sequence showing off the various scams they are performing through a creative montage style with some interesting music and lighting.
Customs officer.
money then make it an investment.
The price is right.
And I'm all about investments, all about what's coming next.
Hey kid, help me get my wife's car to this bad neighborhood.
Sir, could you help me? Tell me, are these today's numbers?
Sauls Suits. As Season 2 progresses, we come to see that Jimmy just isn't happy having a boss. As such, he decides it is in his best interest to get fired from the big law firm he was recently hired at so he can keep the bonus he already spent. We get a really cool montage scene of Jimmy coming into work with various suits that his co-workers seem to disdain and working his best to annoy everyone in the office to not even flushing the toilet at times.
Every time you flush a toilet, you waste a gallon of water. A gallon? What could be greener than this?
The low-flow toilets, Jimmy. From now on, flush.
Mike versus Trevor. In this Season 1 episode, Mike meets up with a couple of other guys who are going to act as bodyguards towards a squirmy low-life pharmacist who wants to sell medical supplies to get rich. One of the other hired guns is played by Stephen Ogg, who was Trevor in Grand Theft Auto 5.
I just assume we're all heavy hitters, and it makes sense the vet recommends the best of the best. Dealing with some of these ethnic types, blood tends to run a little hotter. That's just science.
This unnamed man, who I will just call Trevor, berates Mike when he learns Mike is not carrying a gun, but rather a sandwich for lunch.
What you packing?
A pimento.
Sorry, what?
Pimento sandwich.
No, I mean, what are you carrying? You know, a piece? What's the make?
Pimento is a cheese.
Mike's responses towards Trevor are priceless, especially when he beats the crap out of Trevor, causing the other hired man to run away.
You got it. What the son of a...
Nachos Deception. After being told to hand over his dad's upholstering business by his cartel boss Hector Salamanca, he knows it is a death sentence for his by-the-book father. As such, he decides he needs to switch out Hector's heart medication with fakes, and after hours of practicing, we get another suspenseful moment when he attempts this for real. One of the smartest ideas he had was breaking the restaurant's air conditioning system so that it would hide his sweat from fear.
More espresso?
Mike's story. Mike may have become a staple character of Breaking Bad, but we never knew much about his past life. As such, it made for a wonderful backstory that was done early on in Saul's first season to really define who Mike is on the inside. It's a gut-wrenching sequence and helps you understand why exactly he is going above and beyond for his granddaughter's sake in Breaking Bad. Not only do we get to see actor Jonathan Banks pour in all of his emotions and acting capabilities in this scene alone, but we also get a wonderfully shot flashback sequence, which would define Mike's character for the rest of the series.
I broke my boy. And it was for nothing. I made him lesser. I made him like me. And the bastards killed him anyway.
Drug shoes. After meeting with Gus, Mike heads to Mexico to sabotage one of Hector Salamanca's supply lines using cocaine and some shoes. It's a pretty amazing sequence of Mike in the desert, shooting a sniper rifle in the air to get Hector's drivers to think someone is hunting, while being treated to a suspenseful, blood-pumping score. Gus's Return. If you have watched Breaking Bad, you most likely fell in love with one of the show's villains, Gus Fring. The man was so cold that he could make reading the phone book sound threatening. Audiences were anticipating his return ever since the show started, as being a prequel meant he was bound to show up. However, instead of giving the fans what they wanted right away, Gilligan and gang took their time to introduce Gus when the moment was right and did it with such brilliance. In this season 3 episode, Jimmy is doing a favor for Mike at a Los Pollos Hermanos restaurant, and we see someone in a yellow shirt and khakis from out of focus from a distance who slowly makes his way into the shot. Since then, every sequence featuring Gus has been spectacular, but there was nothing more intriguing than that reintroduction to the character. Border Patrol opening. This scene is by far my favorite scene thus far from Better Call Saul, as it is filmed as one continuous shot, though really 3 shots if I recall, and it is so beautiful with great music to boot. What's equally impressive is after the sequence finishes up, we see a popsicle stick being utilized to showcase the transition of time from the border to the driver's first destination. There's not too much to say about this sequence that you can't see for yourself. It's truly a remarkable scene, and it was cool to see the border aspect back in season 3. And I hope we get to see that area again in season 4 and seasons after season 4. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you have not seen Better Call Saul, like I said, definitely check it out. If you have, tell me what some of your favorite sequences are. Until next time, bye.
someone is not flushing, once is an accident, maybe even twice, 3 times, nah, that's a pattern.
And we're not talking about a number 1.
Yes, thank you, Aaron.